We didn't decide in either case to know the sex of the child when Jennifer was pregnant. We considered it one of the last great surprises that God gives us. There was nothing more special than hearing those words, "It's a boy," and "It's a girl." And we had the privilege of hearing both of those words. My name is Dane Weigel. I was born in 1967 in San Diego, California. My family has a lot of boys in it, and it was an assumption that we would have just another boy. And yeah, I visualized another boy. I saw us all wrestling on the floor like I used to do with my brothers. And the doctor said the words we did not think we would hear ever, and it was the biggest surprise of our lives. And those words flipped my universe upside down, and it stayed there. And I enjoy every moment of having a boy and a girl who complete my perfect family. So, did I hope for a boy? No. Did I see another boy? Yes. Am I happy that I had a girl? Absolutely. I would have it absolutely no other way. I think one of the greatest challenges I had in having children was thinking that I had to be ready to have them. It's just life. Take it easy. If I could go back to when we had Max and Kate, well, I would change everything. Then I wouldn't change a single thing. There's a million different ways we could have done things. I could have done things. And there's nothing else I could have done differently to make you into what you are today, which is, as far as I see, perfection. And I know it doesn't seem that way sometimes. You are exactly what you need to be. And somehow you got there with what I did or didn't do. If you want to talk about early on, I would try to let work and tasks and obligations, let them happen on their own and focus on those critical child-raising years even more. It happens so quick. It happens so very quick, and it's so important. And that's easy to say, hard to do. The other thing that I wish I could have changed in those early days when you guys were just babies, I wish I would have just held you more. I wish I just would have kept you in my arms. Just a little longer. Top 3 moments in my life. There's so many. There's so many moments. And, I thought a lot about this. This is one of the hardest. And I thought, should I only talk about good things? And anyways, I picked top 3s for sure that I think matter. I was standing at the end of an aisle, looking back across my family and all of my friends, and at the back of the setting appeared my soon-to-be wife, and that first image of her was the most stunning thing I've seen when it comes to one of the most precious moments. I was completely taken off my feet. I know people say that, but it really happened for me at that moment. I received a call that my best friend was killed in a car accident. In that moment, I sat in the car. I breathed. I prayed. I realized that the past is what had gone on before, and what was coming still hadn't happened. And all I had was that moment. And that moment went from one moment driving to my other best friend's house's brother and sharing with him that moment, and then going and telling his parents, waking them up to tell them about that moment. And then everything else that happened after that happened in those now moments. What's been before is gone, as everything is in life. What's going to happen in the future isn't here yet. The only thing I have is now. And the only thing I can do is live right now. And that's what matters. When these challenges come and change has happened, I remember that we still have this gift. And it's the greatest gift. And it's this life. It's living. Regardless of what the changes in our life, we still are receiving. And that's what helps me to continue to enjoy the gifts that we receive. I had hiked on Kauai up a trail with friends and swam across a lake to a beautiful waterfall and was able to climb up underneath it and feel the water hitting me, realizing that this was one of the most precious things that I could ever experience. Some years later, I did the same thing, swam across a similar pond, got underneath a waterfall, and reached down and helped those who were with me, my son Max and my daughter Kate. And that circle of experience there is one of my top 3 moments in my life. Everything you do in all those moments, when you're with others, when you're working on something, when you're enjoying something, when you're eating, show up in that moment. Be there. I've learned that that is the most important thing you can do, is show up in everything you do in your life, and you'll be rewarded for that. Part of the reason I wanted to have children was to kind of prove myself to myself that I could be a parent, and to prove myself to my parents that I could bring something greater into this life. We had Max. Max, you became the best friend that I never could be to my father. And that was an untellable gift. And I was so proud of that. The day that my dad called me to ask, "Hey, Dane, is Max up yet?" Because he wanted to come over and get you to take you flying airplanes, was one of the best, proudest days that I felt I had accomplished what I had wanted. Kate, when you were born, and I brought you to my mom and my grandmother, I knew you were the exact thing that fit into their lives. Your middle name is Lucille, my grandmother's name, and she loved you like nothing else. And my mother and you, I saw my mother in you unbelievably. It's amazing when I think about. And I thought I was giving those gifts to them. I didn't need to prove anything to my parents. Just being myself was enough for my parents. Even though I gave them those children, I'm so happy I did that I had you, Max, and then I had you, Kate, to bring into their lives. I was enough for my parents. I made them complete. And it doesn't matter what you, Max, and what you, Kate, do in your lives. You are enough, Max. And you are enough for me, Kate. There's nothing else you need to do You have made my life complete. Thank you. Right now, you have a certain passion. It's a wonderful focus that you have, and you know everything in that area. I see that in myself at times in things I do, and I see the way you can be driven in a way. You do it your way. You go in that direction. You listen in a way that people don't know you're listening. And then I hear you say the things that people were sharing with you, that you are taking in so much more than I realize. And I think that that's a special talent. Whatever your passion is going to drive the skill set that you need. You want to immerse yourself in so many different topics and skill sets and responsibilities and duties, but you're really working on where you're going. You may get quiet at times. You're thinking and you're looking towards what's down the line and where what you're doing today, where that's going to take you tomorrow. And that's something that I work on, and I see that in what you're doing in your life today. People would come to us when you were young and were concerned about whether you would learn how to speak. Your mom and I would laugh about that because while you went out in public and with friends, you barely spoke when you were young. When you went home, when we were together, you talked up a storm and you told us all what was what and who was going to do what. And who was in charge was you. The last concern we had was your ability to tell people what to do. And that is a talent, that is not a flaw, and you need to use that, and you will. I see you in a city, I see you in a country, far away from here. Your ambitions, your hopes, your dreams take you to a place that's not here. And I want you to go. And I think you will find not only what you're looking for in your work, but I think you'll find yourself there too.